I'm Cody Crabb,
I'm Johnny Flores.
and we are the hosts of the Podcast Producer Survival Handbook.
The Podcast Producer Survival Handbook is here to help podcast producers, editors, and audio engineers succeed while freelancing.
How's it going, man?
I'm really good. How about yourself?
Great. We always end up kind of doing like a little roundup of our last week or so. So I'll just say kind of a cool thing that happened.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about like planting seeds and how things just kind of happen out of nowhere. I think I even mentioned a little bit about this last week. But I've had like between 3 and 5 people that have kind of at some point we've reached out to them and they've kind of been interested or whatever. And now like they've actually started putting times and dates to stuff, and we're actually starting to like get things rolling. And so that's one of the reasons it's so important to look for clients and do things now, because you're often not going to reap those rewards for months.
Yeah,
like
it
I'm
could
not
be
getting paid for
months.
this for a long time.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
what do you feel for someone who might be in a similar position helped this go from a potential client to a client? Like, what do you think helped? What was I guess the big lift or the big push that you had to do to really like get them on board to hire you as their producer, editor, whatever role you're filling for them.
Yeah, good question. So with all of these that I've been talking to, they all just happen to be like, they found my contact information from somewhere and just reached out to me. But I feel like the actual closing of the like sale basically was not in the moment. I think it was much later. I think it was kind of like me keeping them kind of up to date. I sent them an email maybe every 3 days for months.
Oh wow.
Like
Jeez.
probably 2 months. Yeah. Wait, was it 3 days? I think it might have been 5 days. I had like a set time where I'm like every 5 days. So, but it paid off. They were excited, and and I kept giving them like little ideas like, oh, I just did this, which would be perfect for your show. And like I just
So
would
you
kind of,
used real world, like
yeah.
here's what I did for
Or
this
I would,
client. It could work for
right.
you too.
Like I just pretended they were already like it seemed like they wanted to be on board, but I just kind of pretended like, oh yeah, they're on board. Let me kind of start sharing some preliminary stuff and get stuff set up, and like that way I kind of feel like I kept their interest to
Nice.
make them excited about it. Because really what a lot of this comes down to is people being excited to start, because if they think it's the best idea ever and they can't wait to get started, you're gonna get paid a lot faster.
Yeah.
You're gonna get started and people are gonna
And
do their thing.
it's
And
gonna make it a lot easier for them to sign
yeah.
off on hiring you.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a little tip
That's
I
awesome.
have, is just kind of keep things fresh and exciting for them. So it's not just like the idea that they have once and then they're like, we kind of just, we've been thinking about it.
Yeah,
and I
we
don't know.
moved on. We're not ready.
Yeah.
So
And what about you?
for me, yeah, similar story. Well, I'll start with the importance of networking. We've talked about this many times over the past several episodes about the importance of networking, going out and making connections, going out into your community to find clients. And the other night, I went to this student mentoring um, meeting or get together kind of thing where they're trying to onboard artists and creatives to go into high schools and elementary schools, basically K through 12, and mentor students in creative fields, either as like
Oh, that's cool.
it was mostly for arts and music.
Uh-huh.
So I consider podcasting part of the creative field.
Sure.
It's digital media, it's part of that landscape. And
Mhm.
so I went there just to talk and see. I had no intentions of getting a client there. I just wanted to go and talk to people and see what this program was about. Part of it's through the city of Sacramento, their arts program, and then the others through these different school districts that this like third party works with the city and then different school districts, or the city's art program. So went in there just meeting people, saying hi. One of my neighbors across the street, she's very involved through the city on the arts, and she's like, well, let me introduce you to a couple of people. And then 2 of these people worked for one of the larger school districts in the area, and we got to talking. And well, they
Ding,
saw my
ding, ding,
hat
ding.
and they said, do you do podcasting? And I was like, yes, I do production. And they instantly one of the two just like started clapping and like going like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." We had a student podcast for our high schools prior to the pandemic, and then when the pandemic happened, it just fell off, and we're trying to get that back up and running because our students love to do it. We need to hire someone to oversee the program and get everything going. And
Yep.
so
There you
that's
go.
just an example of like why it's so important to go out, network, be involved in your community as a business owner, as a freelancer, because you never know when you're gonna meet someone that needs help,
Yeah.
and
Well, and especially because content creation is like red hot right now. Everybody is like trying to figure out the ways they can get started in it
yeah,
and stuff. So it's a good time to like just meet anyone you can, because odds are either them or like someone they know is going to be like, oh, they've actually talked about this quite
yeah.
a bit, and they've been looking for someone.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, go out and network. It's really, really important, especially within your own city, county, community, wherever, whatever the major metropolitan area is, go out
Yeah.
and network because you never know who's going to be there and who will be hiring or who needs help and has
Or whose friend they are.
funds and can
Yeah.
pay for things. So
What is we're probably never gonna stop saying that, honestly. That's like
yeah,
that's gonna be a recurring thing.
we're gonna
Um
flog that horse.
yeah, big time. So what did you want to talk about today?
I was thinking we could talk about imposter syndrome. I know I dealt with
Ooh.
it for years. I imagine you did too.
Did. Oh, definitely did. It's definitely in the past and not current at all.
He
Not at
said
all.
facetiously.
No, okay, well, I actually have a really good. That's really good that that I'm on this call, because I am like the living personification of imposter syndrome. So, I didn't really ever feel like I had it ever. Like I felt like I was like totally good. Like just charge what you're worth. Like I felt like good,
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
Still undercharging, by the way, definitely. But my point is my attitude was just really good. I had two things happen in a year. One was I got called to Norway. Like some company from Norway hired me. They flew me over there to train a bunch of journalists on how to use Logic, which is like my software of choice. And I still kind of am not 100% sure how that happened, but like I think that was the first time I really experienced imposter syndrome, which if you don't know what that is, basically it means you feel like you are an imposter. You feel like you are not really,
You're a
you
fraud.
don't really belong where you are.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're a fraud, that you're just faking it, and that someone's going to find you out, and it's all going to
Or that
crumble
there's
down.
other people that have that deserve the
Yeah.
opportunities that you're getting. Like you're
Yeah,
not
like
worthy of it.
they're a real that's the real
Yeah.
version. Like I'm just a fake one. But anyway, so I'm teaching this workshop in Norway, and I'm just like, what even is my life? Like this is just so crazy to me that I'm just doing this. It was the first time I'd really kind of done something that professional. Like I've done a lot of stuff, but it was very like corporate, and and I think that was the first time I had to really, really deal with it, and it was
Interesting.
rough. Like it was, yeah. And then I had another one too when I was working on this true crime podcast that just ended. I just had these feelings. I mean, it still really lingers now that I'm like, why did this dude pick me, man?
Mm.
Like he could have picked anybody. It could have been anything. And I don't even have that much experience with this kind of thing. Like what made him choose me? So I would say those are all really good examples of imposter thoughts. Like it's, why me? Why,
Why
I don't.
did going to the journalist one like tweak in a negative way your mindset
Hmm.
of like your skill set?
I don't know if it really did. I think it was just, well, and this is the thing. No matter what your skill set is, there is a level where if you are working on a project at that level, you are going to feel like, what am I doing here? Like even if you are like a famous, like semi-famous, whatever person, and you're working on a movie with someone that's even more famous, you're going to start to be like, what am I doing? That those thoughts are going to start to creep in. There is always someone that has a higher level or higher skill set, whatever you want to say. And I think that it was just, I finally hit the point where I was like, oh, can I do this? Like I actually had to think, like, is this something I can actually And I think it was also the professional, like the fact that I was in person doing a training, which isn't my typical thing. Like I'm good at speaking and talking and stuff, but it's not usually what I do. And then being in a country I'd never been in, and it was just a bunch of crazy stuff. Um, so I'm very like, I think now now that I've identified it, I'm like, okay, now I know what that is,
I
and I
see.
can kind of. So okay, let's say you're talking to me. You are talking to me now. Let's say I messaged you when I got hired for this job, and I'm like, dude, I don't know if I can do this. This is like out above my pay grade. Like I can't do this. What would be some advice that you would give to me as someone that would be struggling with
Well,
imposter syndrome?
first, right off the back, I'd say they contacted you for a reason. They're flying you over to train these people for a reason. If they didn't think you had the skill sets, the mindset, and the ability to train their staff, they wouldn't be willing to spend all this money to bring you over. So right there, that should tell you you're
Yeah.
probably qualified to do this. You
Yeah.
know,
Well, and I think you're right. I think that it took me going like, you know what also really helps. I'll say this. This is one thing that really helped was so my wife actually tagged along. How often do you get to a half expenses paid trip to Norway?
yeah, yeah.
And so I was like, "Oh, she's coming with me." And so she was there and she actually sat in on the workshops.
Mm,
They invited her to just sit in. And she at the end of the day was like, "Oh my gosh, like you just know so much." And it's just I'm so amazed that you, and I was a little bit like, oh, well, of course I don't think I know that much, but like when someone that maybe isn't an audio person looks at what I do, they're like, you're like a super expert and whatever. And it was that perspective really helped because it was like, yeah, you're not going to be an expert compared to everybody,
yeah,
but you don't need to be an expert compared to everybody.
yeah. Very true. Yeah.
Something I actually heard once, and I've kind of adopted it myself, is um, it's like instead of imposter syndrome, try to imagine that it's like sneaky trickster goblin syndrome. Um, and so the idea is so if you're an imposter, you're doing something bad. You're tricking people into like that's the mindset is that you're tricking someone into like paying you what
Like
you're and
the entire plot of Catch Me If You Can.
basically that's what you think of when you have imposter syndrome. That's what you think that you're doing. But tricky sneaky goblin syndrome is like you are like nobody can catch me. I am sneaky. You just lean into it and you're like I can do it and I did trick these people and I'm going to get away with it. Ha ha ha. And it's your brain the difference between those two is slight, but it's really just the way you look at it.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
I know it sounds so dumb, but like starting to think like that really helped. Like instead of being like I shouldn't have charged that much, like they accepted it, but really should I have charged that much? That was a little too much. I'm just like whether I'm worth it or not, that's how much I got them to pay. And so that even just it's just really a mindset, and mindsets can change. So
Yeah.
something like that even can be really, I think, can be really helpful.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, if anything that helps give you confidence, it's one of the dumbest skits, but I think it's so funny and true is an old skit from the Upright Citizens Brigade where these two guys are out playing golf and the one golfer asks the other golfer like, how are you so successful at business? Like what gives you why are you so good? Like what are you doing? And he goes, you want to know my secret? And the other guy goes, yeah, please. He goes, ass pennies. And the other guy goes, what are ass pennies? And he goes, every day I stick a roll of pennies up my butt. And then I disperse those out amongst the community. And I know at some point somebody that I'm doing business with that I'm trying to get the edge over has probably touched one of my ass pennies. And so that's how he gets the edge in business. Like you have to find your ass pennies to get over imposter syndrome.
You know
Whatever.
what? That's a really good analogy because it's all made up anyway. Like confidence is just your perception
Yeah,
of your position.
it's
So
somewhat that, yeah, but also it's what got me over my imposter syndrome was the very first podcast movement I attended. And I
Mm.
went in there thinking, oh, I'm not gonna, like, there's probably, and there are people, like, neither one of us are the end all be all of
Of
podcast
course, yeah.
knowledge. But I went in there just thinking, I'm gonna. There's so much I have to learn. There's probably people that have way more experience than me, and I started going to the different panels and workshops. I was like, I already know all this. Like, literally, as I was going to them, I'm like, I know this stuff. I know all everything they're talking about. I know this. And then what ended up happening was I'd get into discussions with other people, and then like a crowd would start to gather. It would be like 2 or 3 people, and
Yeah.
then like 10, 15, 20 people. Um, no, I was just like passing on information,
Yeah.
and this was the first year I had left my job and gone to,
Mm.
full-time production, my old job, and it was the first year of my business, and it instantly got me over my imposter syndrome. I was like, oh, I know what I'm doing. I know.
So you remember that like as a defining, like
Oh, for
it's
sure.
gone now?
Yeah, it was gone.
Oh, cool.
It was gone. Uh, Pretty much immediately after that. I was like, all right. So, yeah, you'll have your moment. If you're listening to this and you have imposter syndrome, there will be a moment where all of a sudden it's just a lack of confidence. I mean, I know we call it imposter syndrome, but really it's just a lack of confidence. And you'll have a moment where something clicks for you and you're like, I am there's a reason they're contacting me and asking me these questions, and they're willing to hire me or at least entertain the idea of hiring me. So now I mean, not to sound like a bragger, but I don't have imposter syndrome at all anymore.
Yet you're gonna get contacted by like the Oscars, and you're gonna be like, oh boy, ooh, okay.
You know,
You know what I
Oscars
mean? It's good.
podcast.
There's like a level I think that everyone would feel that like to some degree, and it's not necessarily a negative thing. Like I think in a way it can kind of be like humility. Like there can be a little bit of like it can humble you a little bit to kind of be like maybe maybe I am a little you know what I'm saying. So the entire thing itself isn't necessarily inherently negative, but it is important to not let that take over. So I would say, um, yeah, just remember that you are, first of all, it's okay for you to not be everybody's editor or everybody's
Yeah.
like for everybody to be your client. There's enough clients to go around. There's a reason that we don't like compete between like a lot of people
Also,
because like
to add on to that too is
uh-huh.
as you get more confident in who you are and your business and the services you provide, you will not work with certain clients. You were like, I'm
Yeah.
not going to work. This isn't worth my time. It's not the headache involved is not going to be worth the money I'm getting. So that's another thing that
Yeah.
comes with getting over imposter syndrome and feeling confident about yourself is you will start to turn things down.
Nothing raised your confidence more than saying no to somebody
Yeah.
that's offering you money. That is a good feeling, honestly. But yeah, you got this. You got this. If you're listening to this because you're like, I want to do this, and you haven't really done anything yet, or I don't know enough, or haven't started yet, or I don't know what to do, or like, just remember that everybody starts somewhere,
Yep.
and the other thing too is there's no levels, there's no qualifications, you have to pass a test or something. This business is all, I mean, when you're a freelancer especially, it's all made up. There's no like position that you need to excel past or years of experience or whatever. Like just do your best, get the clients you can. It's all gonna work out,
That's
and
yeah.
maybe you'll go to Norway one day.
Your clients just want to see the end result,
Yep.
and they want to
Yep.
have confidence in you that they hired the right person, and
Yeah.
there's a reason they're talking to you, and the reason they want to hire you is because you have the skills and the experience that they're looking to launch and run their podcast. So
So trick them into paying you.
it's not a trick. You're worth being paid.
You sneaky goblin that is no, that's it's if you look at it, it's the same exact like process in your mind, except you just put a positive spin on it.
Yep.
Like I can do this.
Yeah.
I can trick them. It works. It does work.
We're the Yodas to your Dagobah Luke.
Very good. I liked that. I like that. All right. Anything else you wanted to add today?
I think that's it.
Yeah,
That's
same
it.
here.
Yeah.
If someone wants to get in touch with us, how can they do that?
You can email us at podcastsurvival@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your questions. If you've got
Yep.
tips you want us to share with our listeners, advice you need, any questions, anything like that, please shoot us an email. And Cody, if people want to follow you, where can they do that?
Yeah, so website is codycrab.com. You can get in touch with me there. Or if you want to try out Descript, and you should, it's awesome, go to descript.cc, as in Cody Crab.
Yep. And if you want to follow me on social media, I don't know what my handles are, but you can email me at johnny@florespodcastproductions.com.
You can follow me on AOL Instant Messenger.
Yep, you can get me on. I'm on Friendster. I'm on MySpace.
I'm getting better. I'm actually trying to do social media now. I'm doing it. So I won't have like 3 Instagram posts ever.
There you go.
But, we got this.
Yeah, thanks for listening. We really appreciate it. And we'll be back in 2 weeks with a new episode.
See you later.